welcome everybody. One thing you'll learn about successful people is there's things that they're good at, there's things that they're not good at, and then there's things they have mastery over. So personally, there's a laundry list of things that I am not good at. But the one thing I may have some mastery over is the topic of sales leadership. And sales leadership is obviously the topic of leadership combined with the topic of sales. Whether that's sales teams, sales people, leading sales leaders. At one point, my largest sales organization was over 100,000 people globally. So I've had a lot of exposure to it. But I've also made a study of the topic of leadership itself ever since my early 20s. I'm currently 38. So I'm 15 years deep in heavily studying the topic of leadership. My leadership mentors personally, mentored would be directly by John C. Maxwell, Tony Robbins, John Wooden, Coach Dale Brown. Indirectly, people that I've studied might be Martin Luther King or Abraham Lincoln, or things that you can learn through just the information out there. And I've made a really hardcore focused study of leadership and then combined that with sales. And when I start to really dive in, one of the major principles that leadership really starts with, it comes from my mentor John C. Maxwell, which is leadership as influence. And if you can develop that skill, and here's the key about that skill, the skill of influence, because at any given time you're either being influenced or you're influencing someone else, begins with intentionality. If your intentionality is pure, if your intentionality is positive, if your intentionality is for contribution, is for growth, is for the result and success of others, and it's okay if you receive result and success from that, but if your intentionality is to see things just the betterment of the whole, then use influence to lead. Otherwise, what you're using influence for is manipulation. And influence is leadership, but it's also can be used incorrectly. And I want you guys to quickly here just go through a few minutes on just the overall thought of being influenced versus influencing. So for all the upcoming leaders out there, this is for you.
Leadership is influence. John C. Maxwell quote, leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. Now here's the thing about influence though. At all times, as a human being, you are either being influenced or you are influencing others. That's it. At all times, 24/7. Bottom line is you got a decision to make every day when you wake up. Am I going to go influence or I'm going to go be influenced? Because the person who does the most influencing wins. And the person that's always influenced will always be controlled by somebody else.